5 plates have never felt that light before. I'm not sure what's going on. All right, today's gonna be a relatively quick introduction because I'm about to shite myself. I'm pulling up to Alphaland right now. This is my first workout without my girlfriend first workout in a minute without my girlfriend because I was in Cali for almost 2 weeks, so this kind of sucks, but it also is nice to be home, so I'm excited to hit legs at Alphaland. I definitely think I enjoy hitting legs more at this gym than any other one that I went to due to all the machines they have, so I'm excited to do that. But yeah, that's basically it. I'll go more into detail on exactly what muscle groups I'm biasing and all that after I shiz. Whew. Okay, so I just did the bike for like 10 minutes, and that's what I used to do pretty consistently. Here, let me take it down. That's what I used to do pretty consistently before most of my leg days. Was bike for 5 to 10 minutes, and it helped a lot with my knee pain. And I hadn't been doing it recently just because my knee had been feeling better, and I just felt like I was in a rush often, and it didn't seem super necessary to do it, but I'm gonna try to get better at my mobility work again and doing the bike before my leg day, just because my knee pain has been flaring up, and I think it's because once I got to feeling better, I just wasn't as consistent with my warm-up routine, and I'm gonna try to get back into it. So I normally do 5 to 10 minutes on the bike, and then I'll do these little leg kicks and just, oh God. Sorry, I'm super burpy. I just chugged all my pre, but I'll go each direction. I'll go here, I'll go here. I'll do 12 both ways. And then I'll go here where, I don't know if you can see me or not, but I'm opening up my hips. I'm just doing slow rotations each way. I'll do like 12 as well, and I'll do 3 rounds of that. And sometimes I'll even incorporate just some body squats if I feel like I need it, but I normally do that before I go into my heavy movements. But yeah, that's basically it for my little mobility warm-up. From here, I'm probably gonna go to hamstring curls. I've already explained why I do that, but I'll go into it again after this. Okay, I'm going to hamstring curls now. I don't know why. Yesterday, whenever I was on my flight, I started feeling a little bit sick, and I don't know exactly what it was, but I kind of felt sick almost the whole time I was there visiting my girlfriend, and I started to feel better, and now I'm starting to feel not great again. I woke up this morning, I felt pretty good, and then now that I'm back at the gym, I don't know what happened, but I just am not feeling the best. Oh, excuse me. Not feeling the best, so I'm still gonna try to power through this workout, and hopefully as I get my pre-workout in my system and get warmed up and everything, I'll start feeling a little bit better. But yeah, going to seated hamstring curls now. Like always, I like to start with these just because they really help with my knee pain, and just whenever I go from there to like a compound movement, like a squatting pattern, my knees always feel better, my hamstrings feel better, just everything feels more, what's the word? I just feel more limber, and yeah. So that's what I've been doing, that's what I'm gonna keep doing. I wanna go into more detail, but I'm just not really feeling it right now, so maybe I will here in a second. Okay, so I just did my last warm-up set here. Starting to feel a little bit better. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, so I think I'll be able to go harder and have a good workout today. Just got in my head for a second. Forgive me for being super fucking monotone and out of it, just because for a second there I was feeling like I might have to leave the gym, but feeling a little bit better now. I'm gonna take another minute or two of rest because I kind of warmed up a little bit heavier than I probably should have. And then I'll go into my first working set here. I'll probably record either my first working set, or I'll just record one of the working sets. I'm probably going to do 2 here, so yeah. Okay, last working set. This machine doesn't lock in as deep as I would like for it to. So that's why I'm leaning over. So I'm more locked in on my quads, and I'm also able to get a little bit of a better range of motion. It usually feels a little bit better. I don't know if somebody messed with exactly how it's put together, just because there's like a million different dials and adjustments for this machine. So somebody might have messed with it. It feels a little bit different. I'm sure I just have it set up a little bit differently, but for the most part, that felt pretty good. Gonna go from here probably to some sort of squatting movement, most likely hack squat. So pray for me. Okay, time for my first compound movement. I'm gonna take some time here to warm up my knees a lot, because this is usually what I really dislike when I go into my first pattern that uses knee flexion that's recruiting my quad. Sorry, I'm still trying to catch my breath from that last leg set. When I'm using a knee flexion pattern that requires a lot of my quad activation, my knees just don't feel good. So obviously there's pain in my knee, because there always is, but it's not horrible today. So that's a good sign so far. Maybe we can actually go a little bit heavier than I previously intended. I'm just hoping that I can get over this little sick feeling that I'm dealing with, because it's coming in waves, because again, I'm not feeling super great again. So kind of back and forth. Hopefully I can time this to where I'm at a point where I feel good whenever I go into my first working set. Okay, I don't know if you'd call this a warm-up set, but I'm gonna do a rep or two. I'm gonna do a rep or two of 405 and see how the weight feels. If I wanna stick around here at half a plate at a 45. So call it a warm-up, but I'm more so just getting acclimated to the movement. Whew. Now, that felt relatively easy, but I think it's probably smartest to go ahead and go 25 instead of a 45. If this set ends up being too easy or easier than I anticipated, then I'll make the jump to 5 plates. But this machine has a slight more, what's it called? The angle's a little bit higher. So it's gonna be a little bit heavier than some other hack squat machines. So whenever I usually would do around 5 plates, I know that this is going to feel a little bit heavier. So going to do my first working set here in a second. I also will have my belt on whenever I do this next set, so that'll make it feel easier as well. So I'm gonna shoot for 6 reps at least. I have a feeling that I might be able to add some more weight after that, so we'll see. Okay, here we go, going into the first set now. And I'm not gonna lie, today I might not do a lot more talking. Not feeling the best. This is gonna be a difficult set for sure. I'm hoping I can push through and finish this workout. And you know, even on the days where it really fucking sucks and you feel not at your best, I feel like those are the days that it's most important to hold those promises that you made to yourself and keep yourself accountable. And it might not be the most beneficial thing in the world to do when it comes to actual optimization of training, but mentally, if you just have these promises and you continuously keep them to yourself, that's just what makes for, I don't want to say true happiness, but it really helps me feel a lot better. So even though I feel really bad, we're going to finish this workout and it's going to be a really fucking good leg day. Here we go. Come on. One. High weight, baby. Come on. Come on. 3 more. This honestly feels kind of light. Gonna do one more rep. Try to really control the eccentric here. Okay. I think I found. Give me a second. I think I found some leverages that felt really, really good for myself, and my squat pattern felt really, really smooth those last 3 or 4 reps, and were somehow as easy as the first couple. So I think we're gonna go up in weight here. Still not feeling the best, but it just shows like on the days where you think I feel not at my best, and maybe taking a day off would be great. I think that I kind of just had something click with my squat pattern and my form to make me a lot stronger. So hopefully I'll be able to do even more weight on this next rep and it'll feel just as good. Next set, not next rep. Whew, all right. This is about to be my best set of squats of my life. I'm gonna try to really control the eccentric if I can. Hopefully I can get back into that exact same pattern of movement that I was doing in the previous set. This will be my last working set here. And then I'm most likely gonna go to maybe hip thrust. I'm not exactly sure yet. Probably some sort of glute variation or something that targets the glutes. Yeah. Again, it's been coming in waves, so I feel kind of okay right now. Gonna try to push through it and make this a really productive set. All right. Here we go. Light, come on. Two more. One more. Come on. 1, 2. Dude, I honestly think I had 1 or 2 more in the tank. I'm kind of a little skeptical though, because 5 plates have never felt that light before. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't feel the best. Whenever I was warming up, even the 4 plates did not feel very light, did not move super smoothly. But I just got 8 reps there, doing a little slight pause at the bottom, controlling the eccentric, so not sure what's going on, but gonna try to keep with this momentum and hopefully stay relative in strength. We can go into my next compound movement. I think I'm going to go to glutes, but we'll see. Whew, okay, about to go into my top set here, or I guess first working set. So far, feels really good, still feel strong. I'm on that another wave where I'm feeling pretty good. Hopefully I'll stick it out. I think I also just needed some water in my system, so I chugged my pre-workout, then another full water, and I think that getting those liquids in my system is making me feel a little bit better. Gonna go for 6 plates here. That's usually around the same weight that I do. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna shoot for rep range. I know I'm gonna shoot for. I'd like to go 6 to 8, but I'm not sure how many I'm gonna get. If I start to get over 8, I'll probably just start to really focus on the eccentric. Or if I lift off the weight in the beginning and it feels a little bit lighter than I originally anticipated that it would, I'll just control the eccentric a little bit more there. So about to go into my first working set. Gonna take another minute or 2 because I did a bit of an extensive warm up. So Yeah. We're dialed. We're dialed. So that didn't feel too heavy. As you can tell, I started to focus a little bit more on the eccentric. I might add another plate, or I might just try to go a little bit slower next time. That felt pretty good though. Another cue that I want to mention is whenever I do this, I like to have my heels a little bit further back, especially if you're feeling it in your hamstrings when performing the movement. This is actually something my girlfriend reminded me of because I was feeling my hammies and I kept putting my feet a little bit further. No idea why I was doing that. Well, I think the reason is when you do like a leg press or even like a hack squat, if you put your legs further, it's going to usually be more hamstring involvement, and I just had it like completely backwards. So no idea where the thought process was there. I did that in my last set. I videoed it, but I wasn't able to post it because of the audio. Long story short, have your heels a little bit closer if you're feeling it in your hamstrings when performing this movement. But yeah, that felt pretty good. I'm contemplating sticking with the weight or going a little bit heavier. I may not even record the next set, but we'll see. Dude, I always forget taking off the plates at the end. Literally so god awful. Ugh. Like doing a set where you go extremely hard and you're just gassed. It doesn't matter how long you sit there to recover. Taking off 75,000 plates afterwards is just god awful. Like, there are a lot of reasons that I don't enjoy doing hip thrust, but unloading the plates has gotta be the number one reason that after every single time I'm done doing it, I remember why I dread it so much. From here, I'm going to leg extensions. Gonna have to literally take a break before I go into them just to recover from freaking unloading the weights. So, see y'all there. See y'all there is crazy. Hey, see y'all there. Hey, see y'all there. Hey, I'll see y'all there. It's crazy. I'm going into leg extensions, like I said. I like to start super light just because obviously the knee pain that I'm dealing with. So I'm gonna do a set or two where the weight's super light, going both legs at the same time. Once I feel like I can build up into a working set, I'm gonna go single leg just because this stack only goes to 250. And if I was going both legs, I would get 20 to 30 reps or something. And same as everything, I like to fail around 6 to 8. I do give myself a little bit more room to go over when it comes to leg extension just because it's hard to get an exact number a lot of the time. Even if I'm tracking my progressive overload, it just feels like some days I can do more than others, which is probably something to do with stability and how my form is, how my alignments are, blah, blah, blah. A lot of dumb stuff. But for the most part, I'm gonna try to focus on 6 to 8 reps. Gonna warm up here for a little bit and then I'll probably film one of my top sets. I might do 3 working sets, but most likely gonna do 2. Okay, last set here. Gonna give a couple more tips. I like to have the seat all the way back because whenever I have it all the way back, combined with having it all the way down, I don't know what you wanna call this, having the machine all the way down to where you're able to have the deepest range of motion, paired with having your butt scooted as far back as you can, like this, and locked in, it just gives you the deepest stretch possible. Sometimes I like to even add a little foam pad right here. I don't know if you can see it over there. A little foam pad to give me even more of a stretch. I love this song. Even more of a stretch, but with my knee hurting like it does, I don't want to put as much strain on the tendon as I need to, and I think that you get more than enough stimulus, and this machine has a really good range of motion already, so I don't think it's exactly necessary. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go to single leg here, and again, like a lot of my movements where I start in a deep and stress position like this, I like to start with both legs to get it up and started, and then I'll take over the movement with one or the other. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. That's heavy. Okay. Whew, that's it there. Another thing I would add if I had it to make this movement a little bit more optimal, but I don't think it's exactly necessary, is having a belt to strap myself in. I definitely need to get one of those. I've been thinking about it for a while. I just haven't got around to doing it. But it keeps you strapped in to where you don't have to have yourself locked in with your arms, and you're just able to be a lot more stable and move more weight. So that's my last set there. I think I'm gonna go to hamstrings. I'm probably gonna superset that with adductors. The machine's taken right now, so maybe I'll just start with calves. And then I'm gonna go to forearms and call it a day. Okay, back to this goofy ass looking machine again. If you didn't watch the first video that I did on YouTube, this is a calf raise machine. You have the weight on your butt. It's a little bit weird, but it's super stable. I really like it. 1 second. What's going on, man? How are you?
Good, bro. How are you, man?
Good, good.
Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. You too. But yeah, it's really stable. I like it a lot. You're able to load a lot of weight onto your calves. It feels good. That's basically it. I've already warmed up. This will be my first working set here. I'll probably only record one. Not a whole lot of cues that I want to talk about here. Besides, one thing I do want to mention, Jeff Nippard talks about how lengthened partials. Okay, wait, backtrack. Another reason that I like this machine is because it's standing, and that activates your, I think it's gastritis in your calf. It just targets your calf muscle better than sitting does, which I know sitting seems like it really targets it and your calves are really on fire. And I used to only do seating calf raises, but ever since I transitioned to standing ones, I've just felt a lot of growth in my calves in particular, and it's just very science-backed. So on top of that, Jeff Nippard also preaches that doing lengthened partials is the most optimal for calf growth. I am not gonna disagree, but for me, with almost anything, for the most part, I like to do a full range of motion. So I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna do a complete extension on my toe, even if it isn't optimal, until I can completely see multiple people backing it besides just himself. I know that there are some studies that back that. I just, for the most part, I would say at this point, I don't know if I disagree, but this is what works best for myself and I have seen growth in. So I'm gonna continue to try to perform my calf raises in that manner. Okay. Another thing with calves, it's one of the only muscle groups that I sometimes will go over the 8 rep range, and it's because I do have some Achilles pain that flares up every now and then, so I don't like to go extremely heavy. Even though I am going pretty heavy, I can fail around, I don't know, I didn't keep count, but I know it was over 8, probably around 12 reps. I know that I'm still getting more than enough stimulus, and sorry, got the burps. I know that I'm getting more than enough stimulus and that it's gonna be more than enough for hypertrophy, and it feels good, and it's at a lower risk for injury, and the risk-reward ratio just makes sense. There's probably more that I want to touch on, but most likely touch on it in the next workout. That's it for now with legs. I'm gonna wrap it up after one more set here, and then I'm gonna go do some forearms, and I believe that'll be the end of the workout. Okay, as I'm on my way to gym 3, I remembered exactly what I wanted to say with calves. The last thing is, whenever I perform a calf raise, I have my, I keep constant tension. So whenever I go to the bottom portion and I get to the full stretch, I try to control it as much as I possibly can with my calves and not go to the very, very, very bottom where I feel like a lot of the flexion and strain is on your tendon, your Achilles more than anything. I haven't seen this be backed by any other science-based lifters. I haven't heard it been said by anybody else. I don't know for certainty if it's correct, but I feel so much more activation. And I know also it doesn't matter exactly with what you feel, but the soreness that I acquire in the following days after performing it that way in comparison to performing it in the other just makes too much sense for me to not perform it that way. So I have a strong feeling that one day the science-based community is going to say when you're doing calf raises that you shouldn't go all the way to the bottom unless you are keeping the tension on your calves. And I know it sounds strange and it's kind of counterintuitive to a lot of the stuff that I have been discussing. It just makes too much sense for me to not approach it in that way. So give it a try and give me your feedback on what you think about that. Going into some forearm movements now. Okay, I'm just warming up my forearms now. That is squeaky as shit. Okay, so I'm performing one of my last warm-up sets for forearms. This is what I like to do. I see a lot of people also like to do where they have the same type of setup, but it's lower, and you do a reverse like this. I think both work well. For me, this is what I think works the best, and it's what I believe for myself is best for my leverages. I'm just here. I'm leaning over myself at the bottom portion here whenever I extend. Then when I go back, I'm leaning back. And a lot of people are gonna say that's not great for stability or whatever, but with the type of weight that you're moving in your forearms, stability shouldn't matter an absurd amount with the rest of your body. You should be able to stabilize yourself with the weight you're moving for your forearms. On top of that, I know a lot of people say that targeting your forearms isn't necessarily intelligent because if you train for a long enough period, your forearms are bound to grow because you use them in so many other movement patterns. But I respectfully disagree because I know whenever you're using a strap, you're still gripping, you know, so your forearms are still being activated. But at the end of the day, I don't think that you would not train a certain muscle group just because it's being used for bracing yourself. And if you're using your strap how it's supposed to be used, you're not going to be using near your full grip strength whenever you're performing the movement. I've gotten really good at whenever I use my straps, it's almost like it's caught on and I'm barely touching my fingers, barely touching my fingers over, so I'll wrap it and then I'll barely have my fingers resting on it and really try to pull through my wrist where the strap is connected. And I used to feel very sore and I used to have a good pump in my forearms whenever I would train back. I've been training for almost 4 years now and haven't seen a whole lot of growth in my forearms. And I have seen growth that's not relative to my legs and my back. Since I started to target my forearms here recently in the past year or so, I've seen exponential growth. And yeah, I don't know if exponential is the right word, but I've seen a lot of growth in my forearms. And I'm gonna continue training them because I think that I am seeing growth more so because I have been targeting them directly more so than just having them as a secondary brace or hook, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it. I think that if you have smaller forearms relative to the rest of your body, you should be targeting them specifically. Okay, one more thing I want to mention. I'm doing one more working set here. I'm not going to show you guys another set because I think I already explained how I perform the movement. But if you want to target the upper portion of your forearm, you can do that in reverse curls, which I do, and then also you can do these. But for myself, I think that I've seen more growth whenever I prioritize doing curls in this direction. I'm not exactly sure with all the science there. I'm not well versed enough to say what works exactly the best, but for myself, a reverse curl has been super good for growing the top portion of my forearms. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna wrap up the warm-up here. I'm gonna wrap up the workout here. I don't think I'm gonna do anything else. I might do some abs, most likely not because I'm kind of in a rush. But if you watch this far, I really appreciate it. Have a blessed one.